Howdy ho, neighbor. You. Got it, bro?
Oh, 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 oh. Oh. Bro, your boy laid out for that on.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro.
Oh, good.
The LSU football team went into Austin, Texas, hung 45, and counted on their offense to get out of there with a win. On 3rd down and 17, they put the ball in the quarterback's hand who threw for 400 yards to a receiver, one of three, who had over 100 on the night for another score. And for the first time in their program's history, they roll into a top 10 opponent's backyard and beat them on the road. Salute to Coach Ed Ogeron and the LSU football team. A cheers to you, Mr. Matt Moscona. We are in for a great edition of Whiskey and Wine. Salute to everybody. Presented by Plant Machine Works. Looking forward to it.
Bro. Oh, Jesus Christ. You got me. We caught up here.
You got me?
All right, hang on. Let me share the posts real quick. Hang on. I'm gonna get sharing on all this stuff, and then I'll pour my drink. Let this build for a second here. And I got bro, I need
Yes, indeed.
I need a fucking drink, bro.
While you're pouring, bro, let me tell you what I'm drinking tonight. I am drinking the JCB number 12, a Pinot Noir that you can learn all about at Pour Choices, Pour choices.com. In fact, you can buy every piece of every bottle of vino that we're drinking when you purchase the season over at Pour Choices. And you can drink along with me this JCB number 12. We brought the number 12 out tonight because of the Big 12 opponent for LSU as the Tigers roll into Austin. What a game, bro. What a game.
All right. Sorry, I'm just sharing real quick, and I'm going to pour, and then we'll toast, and we'll get rolling. Everybody, if you're watching, if you've not done so yet, please hit the share button. You know the drill. Don't be a square. Like and share, bro. Like and share, like and share, like and share. All right, dog. Dude, for the reason you just said, all right, first time that LSU's gone on the road in the non-conference and beat an AP top 10 opponent. I'm busting it out again, bro. My Thomas H. Handy. This is part of the BTAC, the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. This is super rare. I don't drink it often, but you goddamn better well believe I'm doing this tonight. I mean, this is, that is what just happened. We're going to get into all of it, bro.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers. 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 And shout out to Plant Machine Works, tagged in this post. Appreciate Travis McGraw and the guys over at Plant Machine Works for making this happen for us. All right. Bro, I mean, we got a lot we got to get into. I got like pages and pages and pages of notes. And one thing's for certain, LSU fans better get used to watching 4-hour football games. Bro, I mean, you see that much offense, bro. It's gonna. I mean, I feel like. So here's my initial takeaway, because we'll get to everything, but I want to go to the 3rd and 17. All right, you're at 37-31. All right, Michael. I'm sorry. You throw the incomplete pass on 1st down. And on 2nd down, Joe Burrow gets sacked. Yeah. Great call by Todd Orlando.
Well,
he brought pressure and got
I mean, LSU was confused there, right?
Yeah.
Did Clyde slide the wrong way?
it was hard to tell because of Burrow's reaction.
Yeah.
But man, he faked the handoff and stepped up left side, and the blitz came backside. I mean, maybe that's his responsibility. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the other guy and say, you know what, fuck, you made a good play. So, like that 3rd and 17 to me, like that right there is a program-defining play, because in a not so bygone era, you and I both know good and damn well what LSU would have done right there. They'd have run the ball, forced them to burn a timeout, punted it, and played defense. That's what LSU would have done.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, we agree on that?
100%.
That's what LSU would have done. And instead, you take your quarterback, 5th-year senior, who, by the way, whose ball sack has to be dragging the ground. I mean, that guy, I am in love with him. Like,
Joe, did you go back and watch him talking shit to the Texas crowd? Is that the finest?
Yes.
Is that the finest?
I did. But I'm and then waving bye-bye after the Jefferson touchdown. But Jordy, just put this into perspective for a second, okay? What just happened, like, understand what you said. 126 years now of LSU football, and they've never beaten an AP top 10 team on the road in the non-conference. And on 3rd and 17, after you had just gotten sacked, you're up 1 score. I mean, this could go very badly. Your coach says, fuck it, throw the ball. And by the way, your quarterback has a guy grabbing onto his leg.
At the ball.
At the time,
he's protecting the ball.
Bro, at the time he releases. At the time he releases.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep.
2 hands on the ball as he steps up. He's got a guy on his leg, and he throws an accurate ball. Justin Jefferson makes the catch, shakes a guy, and sprints for a score. Do you realize that, Jordy, and I hope everybody watching realizes this as well, in 50 years from now, the way people talk about Skylar Green against Georgia or the night the clock stopped with Burt Jones to Brad Davis, like, that's what you just watched. You just watched a generational type moment in LSU football. Like, we got all these, I mean, I got all these notes. We'll get into the game and everything that transpired. We'll talk, we'll answer questions and all, but damn, if you can't sit here for a minute, I got goosebumps sitting here thinking about this, man. Like, if you can't sit here for a minute and just appreciate what we all just got to watch. Holy, I mean, bro, this is why I love college football. Thank God. Thank you for LSU and Texas for scheduling this series. You know what I mean? Like, dude, we could have been watching LSU and Georgia State today.
Look around the country. I mean, look, everybody, you mentioned it at halftime, every eyeball in the country that cared about college football was watching this game tonight. And now, when you pull out of Austin, when you pull into Baton Rouge tomorrow morning or late tonight and wake up Monday morning, you're on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Joe Burrow has now, last week, become evident to the Heisman race. This week, he's a true contender.
Mm-hmm.
He's a true player in the Heisman
Dude, look at his box score.
Oh, dude.
Look at his box score.
Dude, it's the first time they've
third. You ready?
Since
you ready?
Rohan.
Dude, 31 of 39. 471, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Bro, Rohan came on my show in the summer, and I asked him point blank. I was like, your record's 33-47. I was like, what you think? Joe gonna break it? He goes, oh, that's in trouble. Bro, not only is it in trouble, now provided he stays healthy and it's over. He's gonna be a 4,000-yard passer this season. I mean, I know you got to get through conference play, and there's going to be some blowouts and all that stuff. But bro, he's going to throw. He is through 2 games. Joe Burrow's over 800 yards, right? So he's got to be just shy of 800 yards.
No, I got you.
Hey, that'll lose you.
I'm looking at the stats. You got me?
Okay.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I got you. So he went 270.
Right.
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. We're good. He went for 278 and then 471. So he's at 750. Yeah, he's at 750 with 9 touchdowns through 2 games. Bro, that's Jalen Hurts numbers. Right? Oh, that's Oklahoma. That's Oklahoma. You're fucking right. He's in the Heisman race. Are you kidding me? He is in this isn't a keep winning and he might be. He is in the Heisman race now today. They just went on the road and beat a top 10 team. He threw for 471 yards and 4 touchdowns.
When Reese Davis asked him, where would you rank this team on Monday? And he said, he kind of sat there, and he thought.
No, I didn't.
And he was thinking, and he said, I mean, I guess I can't keep him out of the top 2. And he said, I mean, I'm not as much. Yeah, he said, I mean, I'm not as much, criticizing other teams as I am rewarding LSU. I mean, and talked about
damn right. That's how it should be.
On the road. And, dude, we talked about it at halftime. We talked about it all week in the build-up. This is the game. This is the 2011 Oregon game for LSU football, where if you win this early non-conference huge matchup, you're in the discussion now all season long. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about the Alabama game, but you set yourself up. If you take care of business and you do happen to fall to Tuscaloosa, you're still in the discussion because of tonight.
Yep. Dude, 100%. Like, you lose if you – and you know what, bro? And listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. And like I said, I don't want to get to November yet. But after I just watched that and having seen what Clemson did against Alabama last year, I'm the guy who has written off the Bama game, right? I mean, until they do it, I'm not picking them to win it, sort of thing. I saw that tonight. I'm like, fuck, bro. But now I'll tell you what scared. All right, now I'll tell you what scared me. All right, the offensive line still worries me because you're gonna face Auburn, Florida, Bama, A&M. All 4 of their defensive fronts are better than the one you saw tonight, and that defensive front gave you trouble. But that doesn't mean your offensive line can't get better. But for right now, and look, I know. Hey, you know what? Let's just dive into this, Jordy. Let's just dive right into this. Oh shit, dude, we're over 1,200 viewers right now.
Whiskey and wine. Believe in the platform, people. Believe in the platform.
Yo, please hit the share. Please hit the share button, please. All right, dude. I want to dive into this. What do you make of the defense? Because my Twitter right now is, man, DBU, this defense, what's up? Giving up yard, right? Like, people are worried about that. Why can't we get a stop?
Here would be my first piece of analysis about the defense. That game exposed the cramps and how hot that game was from a defensive effort. I think you lost a lot of guys due to that. Just the heat being on the field.
Yeah,
so, that was tough playing conditions today. I think Rashard Lawrence is the biggest loss of the night. He didn't look like that. I haven't got an update.
Did you hear an update on him?
And if you miss him, that wasn't
no, bro, that wasn't
a big loss. I mean, you got Delpit back, you got Divinity back. When those guys cramped up for a minute. Here's the thing that's a little different that I was getting, interacted with during the game is that LSU now counts on their offense more than they do their defense. You feel more confident in their offense than you do in their defense. And I kind of love it. And that's the 3rd and 17, right? I mean, that was the 3rd and 17.
Man.
But Matt, they're still thin where true championship teams are deep. And I think that this team can contend for a national championship. I think they can play for it if they stay healthy and they stay on the right path. But defensive line and offensive line still lack big time playmakers and depth. They do have a playmaker. in Chasson. They've got a good player in Lloyd Cushenberry on the offensive line, a solid Southeastern Conference player. I think Damian Lewis is a solid offensive lineman. We didn't talk about Ed Ingram getting cleared on Friday. I don't know what that means immediately, but if he gets right, he's a player that can play at this level. But you've got to get depth, man, and you've got to get legitimate tackles because still, for as good and as big and as well as Sadiq Charles moves, he still gets exposed in some one-on-ones, and you hadn't gotten to the SEC yet. So while the defense, I think that they've got playmakers, and I think that Derek Stingley Jr. passed the test tonight. I think Christian Fulton got humbled tonight. And I think on the defensive line, you found if you lose Rashard Lawrence, you just don't have the depth and you don't have the playmakers to make up for it.
Okay, real quick on. All right, so I'm with you on the defensive line with the depth, and I don't know an update on Lawrence, but that's critical. The thing about tonight is, and this is something else that goes hand in hand with when you run this type of offense and you're going tempo, your defense is vulnerable. Like Texas today ran, I'm trying to see their total number of plays. They ran it 29 times, threw it 39 times, right? So dude, 68 plays ain't that much. LSU, no, I'm sorry. Okay, that was LSU. My bad. I was about to say that ain't that much. Texas threw it 48 and ran it 37. So 40, 78, and 7. Bro, 86, was that 80, 85, 86 plays? I mean, your defense is on the field 85 plays.
That was brutal. That was a brutal playing environment. As far as the heat goes, you got to think of the let's go. Think about the emotion that you woke up with this morning about this game. Can you imagine being a defensive starter and going through the day just being mentally spent?
Okay, Texas dealt with the same shit, and they weren't dropping like flies. I mean, that's the most obvious. And you play in South Louisiana, and you're going to deal with heat. So I don't know that I buy that, but I mean, I get it. I don't buy that. I mean, heat's a thing. You got to deal with it, and Texas dealt with it fine, and it didn't bother them. So I'm not going to be the one that's so much on that. The depth thing, I agree with you. Like if your defense is going to be on the field for 80, 85 plays a game, like you're going to give up yards, you're going to give up points. I mean, it's just like. People ask, well, hey, what happened with John Chavis? Like, how did he go from being a great defensive coordinator at LSU to being a crappy defensive coordinator? Well, when he was at LSU, his defense was on the field for 55, 60 plays a game. Now they're on the field for 85 plays a game. If you average 6 yards a play, 4 yards, whatever it is, and you're on the field an extra 20 plays, well, 20 plays times 4 yards average a play, 5 yards average a play, that's another 100 yards a game. I mean, it's not hard to, and then you have the residual wear down effect. I think what's happened, Jordy, is like fans collectively, we just got to recognize we're watching a different breed of football. Like we're watching a different brand of football, and it's exciting. I'd rather this, and maybe you're going to win more games. 40 to what the hell was the final score tonight? 45, 38. I mean, maybe you're going to see more 45, 38. Okay, that was a hell of a lot of fun to watch. I don't care that it was 45, 38.
It was so refreshing. It was so much fun. I mean, it was just so like you never felt out. I looked at Aaron in the fourth quarter. I said, "This is about to be a quarterback shootout. This is about to be Ellinger and Burrow, man versus man, 1-on-1, tit for tat. You score, we score type deal." And I said, "Let's buckle up, man. This is about to be fun." I mean, this is about it.
Somebody's asked what I'm drinking. I'm drinking my Thomas H. Handy. That's what I'm drinking.
On that
so,
number 12.
Hey, let's
check it out. Poor Choices.
Do you want to
life? POUR choices.life.
Do you want to do? Do you want to like read these viewer questions? So now, or you want to run through
let's give our analysis.
Our notes.
Solely interact.
Okay, so I'll start from the beginning. I thought, Texas got the ball to start the game. They had a 3rd and 2 on their first possession. They ran a screen. Delpit came up and made a tackle.
Yes.
Do you remember that play? On 3rd and 2, right at the line of scrimmage. That was massive because it gave LSU the ball and a chance to go get a lead.
Didn't you
expect
him to make that play when he came charging up? And how surprised were you in the next 2 that he came up throughout the game that he bounced off those guys?
It was Duvernay at the same time. Now Duvernay is 5'10", 220. He's a brick house. Yes, and he's a sprinter. He was the state 200 champion. He's like world-class sprinter who's 5'10", 220. I mean, like a lot of dudes are going to bounce off him. Well, LSU gets the ball, they score. Obviously, we talked about at halftime, back-to-back possessions for Texas at the goal line. That was when Fulton got injured. Cordell Flott gave up the 28-yarder. You had, and then they went for it on 4th and goal, had the incomplete pass on the drop, which, I mean, you can't assume all else is equal, but that play right there, the whole sequence of the game is different if Keontae Ingram catches that ball. He didn't, but then LSU gives it right back on the tipped interception. They go for it on 4th and goal. Remember, the other thing there, Jay, is on that drive, Sam Ellinger got in. They ruled a touchdown, reviewed it, took it off the board. So that was a massive sequence, man. That's replay helped LSU right there, that they had the camera angle down the line and got his knee on the ground.
It slowed down that pace and tempo for LSU's defense to catch their breath before that 4th down. Because when Texas got moving tonight, I mean, they started rolling downhill. I mean, you could almost just sense them.
Yeah, they did.
Just the big play was coming. It was about to pop. It was about to happen. You had that sense to it. So that's that second down, that second 4th down stop, the true goal line stand.
Yeah.
The one thing that was lost in that review was LSU just kind of catching their breath, getting their bearings.
Yeah. As they started the second quarter, that's when they had LSU went tempo. I'm sorry, Texas went. That's where the Stingley near interception play happened, and after that they went tempo on their touchdown play. They ran up to the line of scrimmage, caught LSU napping a bit. They scored, go up 7-3. LSU got the ball back, bro. LSU, man, when they scored the touchdown on the 3rd down to go up 10-7, on the 2nd down they had the incomplete pass that was damn near intercepted. That's the one where it was Jones who jumped the route. And you just, as you start to process the game, you start to piece together things that the nuance of the game, that if it's different, how much different the outcome can be. Keontae Ingram dropping that pass, Jones dropping the interception. Texas had their shots, but then again, LSU had opportunities as well that they missed. But really, in the first quarter and 2 drives, Texas had a chance to get themselves a lead at home, and they fucked it up. And at that point, that's when LSU hit an overdrive, and they scored three straight possessions. And you and I were talking at halftime, man, they're about to they're getting the ball to start the second half. They're about to roll straight through Texas. You know what I mean? That's dude. And then they go 3 and out. Well, Clyde drops a screen that would have been a 1st down, and they go 3 and out. They punt. Texas gets the ball, and that's when they went on the fuck you drive. They went on the 19 plays, 86 yards, 7 minutes, 17 seconds. They had no pass rush. That's when Rashard Lawrence got hurt. He converted a 3rd and 6, a 3rd and 9 on that drive. Ellinger did. I mean, they just, they were that's one of those, man, where you tip your cap and go, damn, that was a big boy answer. Because if they go 3 and out there, they punt there. I mean, it's probably over at that point, because then LSU kicked a field goal on the next drive, and then scored touchdowns on three straight possessions after that. So, man, I got a million notes here, but man, one of the things I was super impressed with as well, when they absolutely had to fucking have it, they got a 40-yard field goal from Cade York.
When his own team tried to ice him. I mean, could you imagine if he would have missed that field goal after they called a timeout after he made the first one off the crossbar? Went in. Yeah.
Did it go in? Okay, he hit the upright. I couldn't tell if it went in. Okay, it went in.
When he saw the timeout? I mean, his eyeballs popped out of his head.
No.
Coach, he's done.
So, dude,
he's legit.
So understand, bro, at that moment, it's 20. So think about that moment. It's 20-14. They just went on a 19-play drive right up your donkey. And then you get the ball, the drive stalls. You had that was the 3rd and 6 where Clyde got split in half on the dump off play.
Crushed on that
yeah. Dude, you know what, man? People were tweeting at me that should have been targeting. Did you think that was targeting?
I thought that the Cade Burns hit on Justin Jefferson's first touchdown was, by the letter of the law, absolutely targeting. I'm getting tweets of the free shots. He's diving in at his head, but
Yeah. Well, dude, I think that Cade York field goal in that moment was massive because it took it from a 6-point game back to a 9-point game. And that's where LSU kept their distance from Texas. If you miss that field goal right there, they get the ball with a chance to go to the lead. And they did score on the next drive. That's when Delpit went to the locker room. So Texas's next drive was without Delpit on the field, and it showed, man, because Todd Harris gave up the touchdown. That was the pass over the middle to the tight end where Harris couldn't get, or Vincent couldn't get on top of him. So, I mean, not having Delpit out there absolutely mattered. But then you get the ball back, and you got a 3rd and 5. You hit Jamar Chase. I mean, I thought, bro, my prediction in this game was that Jamar Chase was going to ball out. He was my guy that I thought was going to break out in this ball game because they hit him last weekend. Against Georgia Southern, I think intentionally.
I can almost argue after his numbers tonight, 8 catches, 147, they still hit him. Like, he felt unguardable.
Maybe so. But he was. Him and Marshall were both unguardable. They had nothing. Texas, their corners had no answer. So and I thought Hershey did a good job of this. Their opportunity was either bring the linebackers close to the line to affect Burrow and stop the run, but leave your corners on an island, or drop coverage to play coverage, but then you leave yourself susceptible to screens and every time they had it, LSU took advantage. I mean, offensively, it was brilliant. I mean, you tip your cap to Ensminger and to Joe Brady because I thought they were brilliant. I mean, aside from throwing the ball in the shadow of your goalpost on that 3rd down that got tipped and picked, I mean, other than that, I don't know that I have a complaint offensively. I mean, everything they did.
Love and we praise and we're all about the aggressive mentality. Those types of things are going to happen. You know what I mean? Breeze makes mistakes, untimely mistakes at times, but you just trust that they're going to make the right spots. They're going to make the right.
You're right.
They're going to be in the right spot. So
no, you're right.
You know what? After the offensive performance tonight, I'm fine with the interception out of your own end zone. You know, because
I'm never going to be fine with an interception out of your own end zone, bro. I'll never say I'm fine. But I understand your point. No, I understand your point.
Cheers.
All right.
So let me give you a little bit because a lot of what you said,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that Derek Stingley Jr. is the defensive MVP of tonight because of the pressure going into tonight's game. And then after seeing Texas's wide receivers, I watched a little bit of Louisiana Tech game. I heard about them all week. We read about them all week. But after seeing those cats play, I mean, they got definitely the top receivers in the Big 12. I mean, you know, Duvay, that guy's he's a nightmare of a matchup with just his size and ability to run. But Stingley's first play where they came at him over the top, we talked about it at halftime, just instinctively, athletically, everything about it was just, I mean, it was beautiful. The way that he responded on special teams was awesome. So I thought that he was a real highlight. I will say this about other freshmen tonight. I was curious where John Emery was. You know, I mean, I thought that
that's fair. The only freshman running back that got in was Ty Davis, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and here's why I was just curious where Emery was, because of his style, because they were running some of these cutbacks. They were running trying to get Clyde into some of these holes that were closing up pretty fast on him. And Emery's that home run hitter, man. You know, I mean, he's that guy that he makes one move and he can get to the house. Now, whatever's going on to keep him off the field, I was just curious where he was. I mean, on tonight, it's tough. It's tough to bitch about anything offensively, but I mean.
So, can we agree that, and I think we've all heard the same stuff, that Ty Davis Price in fall camp was ahead of John Emery. So it didn't surprise me that Price got in ahead of Emery, but I'd also say in this situation, the last thing that you can have happen, dude, look at Keontae Ingram, bro. Keontae Ingram drops a touchdown, and he put a ball on the ground that bounced right back to him. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a critical moment in the first half where things are starting to slip away from you. You're about to give away a possession. The last thing they could have happen is put a freshman running back in there who makes a boneheaded mistake, gets your quarterback killed, or fumbles the ball. That's why you saw Clyde and Burnett tonight. Sorry, go ahead.
And I agree with that. I still, obviously, you still have offensive line questions. Defensive line, my concern level about the health of Rashard Lawrence being able to make it through the season, that was one critical piece of information on Lawrence about just where he's been. While he's on the field, he's been very strong, just dependable, has been, just the inability to stay on the field. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on with him and how hurt he is.
Real quick, I'll interject on that. Lawrence, so something to keep in mind, and we talked about this before, but the good thing about where this falls situationally, you've got Northwestern State, Utah State, Vanderbilt, and an open date before you play Florida. You can give Rashard Lawrence a fucking month if you need to.
Yes.
Just say, hey, bro, just go get treatment for a month. We'll see you in October. I mean, he obviously doesn't want that, but if that's what it takes, then okay. I mean, like that you're playing for something now. That was the first thing I thought of. That was the first, you may not see Rashard Lawrence for another month. I mean, I thought about that when he was limping off the field. Okay. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I thought that Damone Clark played well again. For as much as we saw Divinity out there, when he got back into the game, Damone Clark, I thought he was around the football the entire night. So I love to see the depth that's developing there at the linebacker spot. You saw a lot of those DBs. This is an early game that's just going to beat you up. Obviously, the special teams highs. Avery Atkins again, Matt. I mean, we don't. That's one thing that we've kind of lost over the last year is that guy's just he's a touchback machine, and that's such a luxury in college football. And then Cade York obviously is got to be the special teams MVP for his effort tonight on the road. So, dude, amazing. I mean. Did he go? Was he 3 for 3 or 4 for 4? Let's see. He was 1, 2, 3 for 3.
And
so he had 3. He was 3 for 3. I mean, incredible.
The only one that was close was the one they called the timeout on.
Yeah, dude. I mean, 3 for 3. Long was 40, but I mean, you go on that that answers the question. Jordan, like last year, we had the question like with Cole Tracy until the Auburn game happened, and you were like, okay, well, he's not going to face anything more intense than that. Like the kick in the third quarter that Cade York made after Texas had the 19-play drive. And they're within a score. And if you miss this, that stadium goes bonkers. And they got a short field to go take a lead. I mean, to drill that, like, no doubter. I mean, awesome, dude. That's phenomenal, man. You got anything else here? You want to get some questions and stuff?
I'm ready to move on. Yeah.
What'd you think about the cramping? The number of guys that went down with
it's an
cramps.
Obvious comparison when you look the other sideline. Texas didn't deal a lot with it, and they were playing in the same conditions. Like I said, I know.
Did you think they were legit?
Some of them were
because the Texas fans were booing.
Divinities definitely were when they go to the locker room with the IVs. There was one when there was a slowdown of pace that I thought maybe when Texas it might have been on that 18-19 play drive. It was just start the third quarter.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, maybe
Sheldon went down with cramps, and then the next one was Divinity with the shoulder. Did you see how he kind of rolled over and got the guy laid on his arm? Like I think that was kind of legitimate. And then the next was Divinity with cramps, and then he went to the locker room. And then Rashard Lawrence got hurt, and that was legit. And then Delpit went to the locker room on the touchdown. So, like, the only one I think that was bullshit was Shelvin. I get why the Texas people were upset about it, but I think they were all kind of legit. They were all kind of legit. Hey, here's a good one. Jazz Trailer said Ika.
I did.
Did you see how
I was
get
looking
in
for him when Shelvin went out, and I saw Fahoko go in. So, look, he was in a walking boot all week. He was in a walking boot all week. He left Georgia Southern's game last week. He left the locker room in a walking boot. He was limited in practice, so obviously that may be a little bit more severe than they were letting on.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I knew they were repping Fehoko at nose this week, and I didn't know if it was because they just wanted a veteran guy or more athleticism on the line, but that makes sense. That makes sense why it goes out. So let's see. Kyle Gallo, I get it was against Big 12 defense, but 3 receivers over 100 yards is amazing. Like, here's the thing. People will try to qualify that and say it was a Big 12 defense. Jordy, they've played FCS opponents. They've played tons of shitty teams throughout shitty teams throughout the years, and they've never done that before. Never. So don't let anybody minimize that or qualify that in any way.
Wendell
That was
Davis,
incredible.
Tony Moss, Raji McGee. I mean, think of the 3-headed wide receivers that have come through here, man. The Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, that Kadron Boone would be the 3rd wide receiver, Russell Shepard on that team. I mean, it's amazing to have 3 wide receivers in one game, especially at LSU, where they're coming from in a shootout type environment. Like, look, one thing that we're also going to first time in the program's history, they go into a top 10 opponent's backyard, into the opponent's home stadium, and win the game. And they do it in the fashion of a 45-38 shootout where the quarterback throws for 400 and you got 3 wideouts go for over 100 apiece. I mean, is this Camelot? You know, like, where are we? Like, what are we seeing?
Dude.
And I think the defense improves, man. Obviously. I mean, like, you know, I don't think that's a hot take, but I mean that the defense is going to improve. Like, they are going to get better as the season lets on. I tell you what, though, man, Christian Fulton is got to have a couple of humbling moments from tonight. I mean, I think that they made their mind up around the mid-3rd quarter mark, and it was like, look, man, we got to quit picking on the freshman. You know, I mean, he's playing good defense with Stingley. I mean, let's see if we can't go at Fulton.
Fulton had a couple of PIs tonight,
yes, he did.
But he also made some beautiful plays. He made one play, He made one play on Colin Johnson and they highlighted it where his hand was kind of on Johnson's lower back. They were going on the right sideline, and he pulled it off and elevated his left hand to tap the ball.
Yeah,
it was beautiful, man. Like, he's just I get your point. I know people are going to say that, but man, they threw 47 passes. They threw put this into perspective, man. They threw the ball 47 times. If in 47 passes you have 2 plays where you go, or 3 if you want to include Todd Harris tackling the guy in the end zone, where you go, man, our guy was beat and we grabbed him. Like, I'm okay with that. Percentage-wise, you're doing all right. It's now they're high on Cordell Flott, but
Coach,
as soon as he went into the game, they went right bad. So Jay, this is my point, right? Like, people have said, oh, LSU, this LSU secondary is better than last year. I mean, come on. Like, last year, your corners were Greedy and Fulton. And Stingley was awesome tonight, and Fulton's still a guy that's going to be a first-rounder. But you also had depth. You know, you had Kelvin Joseph you could go to. You had Kerry Vincent who could play the nickel. Now you got Kerry Vincent playing the safety. Like, you had more veteran depth last year. You got some, like, if you get anybody hurt, like what happened today with Fulton, that's a problem, bro. Against a team like that. Yeah. That's a problem.
That's why
I mean, you're rolling a freshman out there.
Like, Jontre Kirkland is still lost in the wide receiver mix when they're so limited in depth.
I agree.
Quarterback, like,
totally
agree. Cordell Flott in Austin in week 2 of his college career, when you got Jontre Kirkland standing on the sidelines with his experience and athleticism, and not put him in the game. But, like, I mean, who the fuck am I? I'm not coaching DBU, but I mean, you saw what they did to Flott. I mean, Herman saw that cat sitting out there, and he was like, yo,
first play.
Look at the chump on the corner. Go get it.
Oh, shit. Hey, someone said, did you see where they put our band? Yeah. And then we talked about that all week. LSU got 3,000 tickets, all in the upper deck. Jay, I talked to one Taft owner that was top 50 Taft owner, one that's a top 20 Taft owner. They got 4 tickets, all upper deck. I mean, Texas gave LSU 0. And what I've been told is, like, next year, the favor will be returned. Texas will get 3,000 seats, all in the upper deck. You will get nothing in the lower bowl.
For 4 hours. Enjoy it. Welcome to South Louisiana.
dude. I mean, I I don't know how many LSU fans got in the stadium. It didn't look like many, and good on them. I mean, what like there's no reason to go spend 6, 7, $800 on a ticket if you. I mean, whatever. Um, but yes, I did notice, heard that earlier in the week. And dude, explain, man, this Jay, I'm you and I like if we need to get tickets for a game, even a Bama game, like we can make it happen. You need to get some for a client or you know what I mean? Like you can for this game. I got zero. First time ever, I got literal zero. Like the people that I can normally go to and go, hey man, I need two, I need four. You know, like I need a favor, you know, whatever. I got zero.
I had people calling me from Austin yesterday.
Yeah, I told people, I said, dude, I told people, I said, if you know anybody affiliated with Texas, ask them. I mean, anybody in Austin, they will have a better chance than I do because LSU got nothing from Texas. Anyway, Craig Saylor, Texas is a legit team. Hey, man, I'm glad to hear someone say that, and I hope more will, because I think LSU fans got a little amped before this game, thinking that they were going to roll. And hopefully the thing that you come out of this, obviously it's a massive win. We talked about that when we started. And by the way, everybody, if you're just joining us, please hit the share button. We're still at 1,000. We peaked at about 1,300 viewers. That's a first for Whiskey and Wine. So thank you for, I mean, obviously the number of people that have watched this is incredible. So please hit the share if you've not done that yet. Please hit the share button. But dude, Texas playing on the road is hard. And Sam Ehlinger's can we agree, like, Sam Ehlinger is a really good college football player? Can we agree? God, dog, I mean, y'all made me feel like, I felt like this week, like, I was the president of the Ehlinger fan club because I was the only guy saying, that guy's good. Well, he threw for 400 yards against LSU today. I mean, he's got some accuracy issues. And, yeah, I don't know that he's an NFL quarterback, but damn, he's a really good college football player. And if he comes back for his senior year next year, bro, Texas is a problem for people next year if he comes back as a senior, which he should. Yeah, no doubt. But I tell you what, bro, I will be very curious to see Miles Brennan in this offense because you know probably better than I do what Miles Brennan was running in Stanislaus with Condities. Yeah, I mean, this is what he was running. This is it.
Coach, it's exactly
this is his native language.
Burrow told both me and you. He had to learn last year how to go under center. He had to learn how to play action. He had never turned his back to the defense, which, you know what, makes me respect Burrow even more to what he accomplished last year. Like, we don't even give him enough credit that he changed geography. He came from the Midwest to the South. He came from the Big Ten to the SEC. He comes from a totally different culture to South Louisiana. Oh, by the way, he's going to win the job, learn a new offense, and now here he is for throwing over 400 yards on the road in a Texas win. Back to his offense. Scott, that was the thing at the end of the game that looked so great to me is how confident, how in command, how just like it was just he looked so naturally involved in that offense. He knew exactly where people were supposed to be. Even the 3rd and 17, stepping up in the pocket like he did. I mean, he just looked so comfortable and flicked it right into it. Burrow, you and I have said this on the speaking tours of the offseason. We've done this now for nearly a decade, and LSU has always had some type of playmaker in the defensive backfield. They've always had a big play wide receiver. They've always had a high-end running back. They've always had a defensive lineman that was a player. The reason why there's so much interest, intrigue, and expectation around LSU this year is because of Burrow. And every time you turn around through the first 2 games, he's answering the bell, man. He's telling you he's worth all of the attention. You know, last week he puts himself into the Heisman race. We said at the beginning of this Whiskey and Wine presented by Plant Machine Works. He's now a contender. He's now a player. He's now a player in the Heisman race, man.
Bro. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Gordy Rush is watching. What's up, G Rush? Hey, safe travels home, G Rush. See you at the Monday morning meeting at 9 a.m.
Make sure and
By the way,
that boss. The social media execs over at Guarantee Media like the traction. We appreciate it.
No doubt. We'll success when I get the success stories email tomorrow at about 6 a.m. I'd like to share that we had 1,300 concurrent viewers on Whiskey and Wine, which I'm guessing is a Guarantee Media record here today. So thank you. And everyone watching, please hit the share button. All right, Titus Jackson, what's up? Johnny Lombardi, Tommy Talley, Devin Kelly. Let's see. Oh, bro, what about the little Texas kid who was crying? Because they were going to lose, bro. He's the new meme. He's the But, I'm just glad that the meme from last college football season was the LSU girl during the Alabama game staring at the camera, right? Like, this kid is the new meme for college football. Like the Surrender Cobra kid from Michigan a few years back. This kid's it. He's the new one. Jeremy Wheeler, Joe B. as a Heisman candidate. We talked about that earlier, Jordy. Like, through 2 games, he's at 750 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's pacing for 4,000 yards right now and, 40 touchdowns. That's probably going to normalize. But if you throw for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns on a team that wins 11 games or 12 games, goes undefeated, you're in New York. Now, I mean, you're 2 games in. He's got to keep that pace. And look, we saw with Leonard in 2015 what jumping the gun on the Heisman before November can do, right? But, there's no doubt when you took on Monday, when all of the Heisman, forecasts and everything come out, it will be Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Hurts and Tua and Joe Burrow. Like, how can it not be, right? I mean, it's got to be like, if it's merit-based, based on what's happened on the field through 2 weeks, how do you not look at a guy who's got 750 yards and 9 touchdowns?
About Burrow and the Heisman watch will be followed by a 3-minute graphic of what LSU accomplished tonight on the road, solely just isolating LSU football on SportsCenter, First Take, Levitard, Around the Horn, PTI, every platform of national media. Sports Illustrated cover. Expect LSU to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated Monday morning. Expect them to be on the cover of all major magazines. Every website that you click on about college football, Yahoo, Sporting News, ESPN.com, Fox Sports News, all that is going to have LSU's brand front and center for what they accomplished tonight, and that will keep them in the conversation of a playoff national championship contender from here through the rest of the season. I mean, Kirk Herbstreit said it on the live broadcast tonight when Reese Davis hit him with, where would you rank this team? He said you can't keep them out of the top 2. That's the voice and the face of college football. Right. Speaking about LSU saying that they're a top 2 team in the country tonight, right now. Cheers. Salute. Scones, whiskey, and wine, bro. Salute.
And
Jesus. I mean, they're all for
cheers.
450 friggin' yards. I mean, what?
Hey, bro. Andy, real quick. Andy Crestman said, "Drink every time Matt says bro or bruh." I don't think he gets whiskey and wine. Like, that's kind of the bit. Is the dude bruh thing? Like, we say dude, bro, and bruh all the time. Like, that's the thing on whiskey and wine. So, Andy Crestman, you're probably late to the party, but if you are, that's the bit.
You drink every time you heard
dude, bruh. That's right. You drink every time, Andy. You douchebag. Anyway, and we curse here too. Oh, Colin O'Connor says, I'm scanning for Glenn. Dude, did you hear the Glenn bit on AFR this week?
I heard about it, dude, and I love it.
Bruh, this guy calls in and he's like, if we beat Bama, you buy me lunch. If Bama beats us, I'll buy you lunch. I'm like, Glenn, I don't want to go to lunch with you. Like, why would that's not an incentive? Like, and so he got really offended by it. Hey Jay, have you ever gone to lunch with someone you just didn't know who just emailed you and was like, I love your show. Can I buy you lunch?
No.
You've never done that? I mean, the listener lunch is different. Like, it's a group. I go to the listener lunch. It's a 10 top. Fuck. I mean, it's like, okay. Like, that's different than, hey, I want to meet you at a restaurant and buy you lunch.
5 minutes before.
I swear I'm not weird.
Before we're supposed to meet, where and when, buddy. Hey, look, I'm out, man. I'm
good. I'm good, bro. I'm good. let's
Did Les
see.
Miles lose to Coastal Carolina?
Bro, they lost today. They scored 7 points. Lost to Coastal.
Oh, that makes today's win even more sweeter, Scone. I hate to say that, but it really does, man. I mean,
I don't know, dude. I'm pulling for him. He's
I him about
dude.
the
He's
18 stats you got on me last week. You served me. That was right. You humbled me. Aaron told me she was like, Matt was right on the AT and Les Miles tweet. I was, what the fuck are you talking about? He was right. She's like,
I was right.
We don't have to tell you were right, Scone.
Well, look,
but you
here's
were
the
wrong
thing.
about Herman.
All right, we'll see.
What you mean? We'll see, bro. We just saw.
Hold on. A one-game sample is never definitive of anything.
Matchup.
But I will say this. I will say this. I will say, because I'm sure there's tons of people who would love to hear this. Anybody, myself included, who was opposed to the Ed Orgeron hire, at this point, there is no counter argument. He's been humble enough to acknowledge his failures, which in his first year were many, and that was one of my big issues, was LSU isn't a learn on the job type of job, but he did. He's retained staff, he's hired staff, he's delegated, he's done what Les wouldn't do in more than a decade, which is modernize the offense. Recruiting was shaky at first, but they're on fucking fire right now. He's recruiting at an elite level. I mean, he's modernized LSU's program. There's no denying it. He's like, I think both programs are in really good hands. I'm sure Texas is thrilled with the guy they have, and that's cool. And I would have loved for him to be here. And if you're an LSU fan today, you're ranked 6th in the country. You just went on the road and got the first non-conference top 10 win in the history of your program. You have an amazing senior quarterback who gives you a chance to win every game you play, and you're recruiting at an elite level. You're in great shape. Like, hell, I got no complaints, man. I got none. What would I complain about today? You know? Yes. Yeah. I mean, they need to stay healthy. The offensive line scares me. But based on the sample I've seen, like, I'll give you an example, okay? All right, here's, and please hit the share, y'all. Please, we're at 995. I want to get back up over 1,000. Please hit the share again. If you're just joining us, 1,300. But listen, my biggest concern with this team through 2 games is the offensive line. And you might get Ed Ingram back, and I think that's going to solve some of your issue, okay? But you're going to face Auburn, who's got a great defensive line. That game's at home. They haven't beat you at Baton Rouge in 20 years, and they got a freshman quarterback who, by the way, tonight they couldn't boat race Tulane.
They were
in their own state.
Coach,
so
I like it next weekend. I mean, they're going to have a letdown game.
Come on.
They're not going to lose, but
Northwestern
it might
State.
look a little like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
don't care. I got you. But then Florida comes in. Florida's got a great defensive line. Florida's defensive front seven is phenomenal. But is Felipe Franks going to come into Baton Rouge and beat you? I don't think so. I mean, I think more of Felipe than I think most fans do because, I mean, he had a really good year last year. He had some down moments. But in Baton Rouge, hard for me to imagine LSU losing that game. Given all the emotion surrounding the A&M situation, do I think A&M's coming in here and winning? No. So, really, it comes down to Bama. And if you win that game on the road, you're in the playoff. If you lose that game on the road, you still got a shot. So, fuck, man. I mean, as long as you don't go, like, shit your pants somewhere along the way, can they? Hell yeah, they. You ask me, can they? Hell yeah, they can. Yeah. I mean, you just went on the road, beat a top 10 team with a veteran quarterback and an athletic defense and 100,000 people telling you to fuck off. I mean,
What
Yeah,
about
you can win the
Marcel
national
Brooks coming
championship.
downhill on that pass when he? Ooh. Hey,
I
look,
loved it. Oh
they got a
God, I
guy
loved
asked.
it.
They got a
Was
guy
he?
saying on the question when I asked him this team win a national championship, he said they need more pass rush, and I wish I could find the name to give credit to the question, but he might be the guy. 9 might be the guy. 45.
What about 45?
Did 45 look a little heavy to you?
Yes. Oh my! I'm so glad you said that,
Dude, he looks
bro.
fat.
He looks fat. What's up with that?
I mean,
What's up with that, bro? Did they? Hey, no,
yeah,
seriously.
me
I'm
either.
not. I'm not poking fun. I'm asking, like, legit
I'm not
asking.
either. That's an
Did they?
evaluation. That's
Did they?
an
No,
honest
no.
evaluation.
Listen. Did they? Did they beef him up to play on the inside?
Coach, I mean, maybe, but he didn't look productive heavy. Like, he didn't look like Damone Clark to me looks like he's put on productive weight. You know what I mean? Like, he looked like a high school kid that went to a college football player. Michael Divinity looked like he went from a college football player to the bar.
Bro, hey, Bubba A-Bear. Jordy drunk, Moscona sober. Little do they know, I've been sipping on my Thomas H. Handy, which is about a 128. We're 128.8 proof on the
Hey, let's
2018
reset.
Thomas
Cheers,
H. Handy. Yeah, dude. Amen. Cheers to that. Thanks to Plant Machine Works for sponsoring us. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Raise your glasses out
Cheers.
there. Hope you're
Thanks to
drinking.
Plant Machine Works. Yeah, man. Everybody watching, raise your glass. Amen to that. Good Lord. I mean, we're talking about LSU going on the road and winning a game against a top 10 opponent, non-conference, first time in program history. I mean, this dude, do you realize that this is I said this when we started, and for the benefit of those just joining us now, like, this is a
Yes,
where were you
sure.
win
Absolutely.
game. Like, hey,
this is a landmark
Jordy,
win
let me
of
ask
the
you
Ed
this.
Ogeron head coaching tenure.
Where were you when Skylar Green caught the pass
First time
against
I'd ever
Georgia in
sit in the suites
2003?
at LSU.
Okay. I was in the first row of the student section in the corner where Skylar caught the ball. I mean, tonight was one of those, man. On 3rd and 17, when they decided to throw the ball and Joe Burrow hits Justin Jefferson and he takes it to the house, that's one we're going to talk about forever. Like I haven't heard it yet, but Chris Blair's call on that,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope he nailed it because that's one we're going to listen to forever. Forever.
You're right.
Especially if this goes on to be a special season. Jordy, I was thinking about this in the second half when LSU on 3 consecutive possessions. Let me make sure I got this right. They went field goal, then they went touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. So they went field goal, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown in the second half. I have not felt that way about an LSU offense since 01. I was thinking about this today. You tell me if I'm wrong, but late in the 01 season with Rohan and Josh Reed and Michael Clayton and LeBrandon Toefield, and Robert Royal, that 01 offense, when they started cranking late in the season, that was the last time I felt like there was no fucker on planet Earth that was going to stop this offense. And even Jamarcus's 06 team, they lost at Auburn 7-3.
7-3.
7-3.
7-3.
The 07 team, they were
one motherfucking pick, and you got 7-3.
Yeah, 7-3, dude. The 07 team with Croton, the Wizard, they were great, but I never felt like they were completely unstoppable. 13 with Jarvis and Met and Odell and Hill was a great assembly of talent. But even they had their bumps. That South Carolina game that year was super close when Clowney and those guys came in.
First night you met Jeremy Hill and Trey. Who's a Carolina Panthers guard? Trey Turner.
Trey Turner. Oh God, yeah. But dude, I look. Maybe that was 2012. But either way, I just haven't felt this way about an offense because the thing about 2013, Jay, was like they were great on third down, but they put themselves in a lot of third downs. You just had two awesome receivers that made plays. It wasn't conceptually what they were doing. It was just they had better skill than everybody.
Oh, they're out scheming.
This, I'm like, you got better skill. This, you got first rounders and they got scheme. They're going to hang 50 on everybody.
Like 2001 is because you remember how open Josh Reed was all the time? Like, remember how he'd be like standing by himself?
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys that are open because you got 4 and 5 guys going out on routes where defenses are confused. I mean, they're legitimately like looking around like, hey, man, we don't know where to be.
All right. Josh Neal said, can a brother get a shout out? Shout out Josh Neal. Hey, Shane Smith, is Aranda overrated?
Dude, I tell you what, Cobble's camera caught this. You got to watch this on WBRZ. He catches Ogeron. Okay. Ogeron gives it to Aranda after one of those touchdowns. I mean, like, he gets after him after one of those touchdowns, which, like, doesn't classify him as overrated. But you can sit. Look, LSU has always – and T-Bob does a great job of explaining this because when T-Bob was there and before that and after that, within the locker room, there was this divide of the defense and the offense when they looked at each other where the defense was like, fellas, where are you, bro? You know what I mean? Like the Tebow loss in 2009 where they lose, what was it, like 7-3 or whatever, where they all get –
It was 10. It was
right, where the
10
offense
to
where
3.
like they get a –
No, it was 13. That was the week after Tebow got 2 weeks after Tebow got concussed at Kentucky. What was that final? 13-3? 10-3 or 13-3? Yeah. Anyway.
And, T-Bob said that was one of the worst locker rooms that he had walked into because the defense had just held the Heisman Trophy winner to so many yards and they couldn't, like the offense couldn't give him anything. They couldn't give him any help. You almost feel like there's a shift happening within the LSU football program where the offense is becoming the more consistent character. I mean, the more consistent producer, right? I mean, like, is that too soon? Is that too soon?
Tonight, yes, but I would say if you're going to be an offense that runs tempo and you're going to have your defense on, like, look at the box score tonight. Like, I'm going to go team stats. If you're going to have your defense on the field for Texas had the ball for 33-53, LSU 26-07. And in part, that's because Texas had the ball for almost 8 more minutes than LSU. And the reason is because, bro, and LSU ran tempo, which is fine. But it's fine if that's your identity. And even in the end of the game with a minute change to go on a 3rd and 17, you say, and we're just going to go ahead and chuck the ball and try to convert this instead of running it, letting them burn a timeout and punting. Like, if that's your identity, that's what you are. But you have to accept the fact that if your defense is like Jordy, this is just math. If your defense is going to be on the field for 85 plays instead of 65, 20 more plays at an average of 5 yards a play is going to be another 100 yards of offense. It's just what it is. And they're going to score more points. So, like, Dave Aranda statistically isn't going to be as his defenses aren't going to be as good as what they were, but like, can they get a key stop when you need it? And that's what I think is going to be more of the issue. Like a week ago, they were awesome, man. They gave up 98 yards. This stuff's going to average out. No, I know. I've drank way too much to be logical, but it's going to average out, and it's fine. You're probably not going to be a top 5 defense, but that's okay. But it's just that's a math equation. The question is, in a key situation, can you get a stop? And you know what? Tonight you faced a really good college quarterback. You were on the road, and that dude made a lot of plays. Okay, like, will Felipe Franks make those plays in Baton Rouge? Will little boy Nix make those plays in Baton Rouge? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think so. Maybe. Will whoever's playing quarterback at Arkansas make
Josh
those plays in
Black.
Baton Rouge?
Josh Black.
Probably
I
not.
want our offense to make more kids cry.
Amen, bro. That's Jordy, that's what football is. Think about how much fun. Hey, let me ask you a question. How much fun has it been watching the Saints over the last 13 years?
I told
Amazing offense,
Aaron tonight,
world-class quarterback, shitty defense.
Sean Payton, we were speaking about this tonight. Is there a bigger figure in football history to the state of Louisiana than Sean Payton, who has come in and brought a championship to the Saints and given LSU football a kid, a mind, a figure that can overhaul the offense? I mean,
only Drew Brees, but I get your point, and you're right. I mean, you're right. 100% you're right. Hey, let me shout out some people, man. Colin O'Connor, Kenny Davis, Tim Edwards, Chris Blades, Trey Simmons, A.J. Holland, Lance Christopher, Bruno Van Moore, Jimmy Hendry, Samuel Murphy, Nancy Heron. What's up, NPH? That was my English teacher in high school. She gave me a B. Dude, she gave me a B. I totally didn't deserve that. Gil Leberton, what's up, dog? Michael Johnson, Dennis Romy. Hey, dude, I'm telling you what, I was a good student, but here's the thing. Her grading system was totally, bogus. You missed a homework assignment, you got a 0 out of 5, it cratered your grade. I'm like, man, that's crap.
Effective teaching,
crap is what that was.
20 years later, you're still
crap.
talking about it. Effective teaching, though.
What's that?
20 years later, you're still talking about it.
Oh, no doubt. No. She knows she's awesome. Come on, man. She knows she's awesome. Yeah. Let's see. Kyle Gallo talking about tempo. Mark Chambers, how much better can the offense get?
You know what? I still think
where would you like to see him improve?
I still think that John Emery, his addition to this offense in some role, not a primary guy, but some role for John Emery, some role for Trey Palmer, some role expanded for Thaddeus Moss. I thought that Thad Moss would have more touches tonight. Maybe not more touches, more targets.
I agree. Moss hey, you know what's the biggest surprise to me? Single biggest surprise.
Yep.
You nailed it. Through 2 games, Stephon Sullivan does not have a catch. I'm shocked.
And
I'm shocked.
And I saw where they put him in on the red zone tonight, and I thought for sure when they put him in, they were going to target him.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he blocked. I was stunned. I mean, I don't have an answer for that. I mean, the 6'6" kid in the red zone. We do on the I do a CST LSU training camp show.
You're everywhere.
In the last episode, it's 4 episodes all through a camp. In the last episode, we always do an over-under. And Eric Ritchie asked me over-unders, whatever. And one of them was, about LSU receivers and receiving yards, whatever. And I gushed over Stephon Sullivan. I was like, they'll have he said over-under 3 receivers or 2.5 receivers with 500 receiving yards. That was the over-under. And I said, over, but the caveat is it won't be a receiver, it'll be a tight end. I said Chase and Marshall will do it, or Chase and Jefferson will do it, and then Stephon Sullivan will do it as a tight end. But, I mean, Terrace Marshall, obviously. Dude, it's Terrace Marshall right now. How much – dude, you know what I think of when I think about Marshall? And you know more – hold on. You know more about this than me because you watched – these guys in high school, so you know offensively more about it. So I'll defer to you. But when I watched Terrace Marshall, it's abundantly clear. He was injured last year, but also when he came from an offense at Parkway where same as Harris, right? They go to the line of scrimmage, they look at their wristband, they run the single route. He was just more athletic than everybody and one-on-ones, right? And right. But when Tyron Johnson came to LSU, same thing. He came from Warren Easton. It was just jump balls. But he came to LSU when they wanted him to run the route tree, and he didn't understand that. Well, he could never get on the field. He went to Oklahoma State and did great.
Yeah.
Because it was just
running
more what he knew. I think the same is true with Terrace Marshall. If Terrace Marshall was here under the old offense, he'd really struggle. In this offense, it's just he's fluid.
If Terrace Marshall is your third wide receiver, that is lethal. Did you see how open he was on that post route? I mean, when he made one move and got in front of that guy, he's like a power forward. Once he gets good position on you, you're screwed. I mean, you can't get over the top. He's so big, strong, and fast. And if he's your third wide receiver, you don't have enough attention on the defensive side to show him double team. I mean, Coach, Jamar Chase, for as good as Justin Jefferson, and Justin Jefferson, we don't talk about him enough he's just so consistent. I mean, he just doesn't drop the ball.
Yeah.
Is he a true number one? I mean, I guess we could debate that. And I guess the debate would be Chase, just because how physically intimidating he is, man.
Chase is the first round NFL receiver. He's the dude, and I'll grant you, I'm pumping him because I spent all off season pumping him as my you do as many radio interviews as I do in other markets, right? Other shows, and they go, hey, who's the guy that nobody? It's the same question in whatever form. Who's the guy that nobody knows that'll become a household name? And my answer every time was Jamar Chase. Just watch out for one. He came from a football factory at Rummel. He's athletically awesome. It's just watch out for Chase. So I'm super biased with that because I want to be right, but he is Odell in the sense that he came to LSU from an offense, a very sophisticated offense where he understands the position, and you marry that with the physical ability, and it's special early.
In the early practice reports, Coach, the one-on-ones between him and Stingley on the practice field have become like folklore. It's become it was Morris Claiborne, Odell Beckham. It was just the Patrick Peterson versus give me the wide receiver of Patrick Peterson's time. Who was it that stood out there? Yeah,
Tolliver.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just those two guys. I mean, Joe Brady told me those are two high-end $100 million prospects when you talk about the ability of Stingley and you talk about Jamar Chase. And you saw, I mean, in the second half, I thought, really and truly, there was a time where he was unguardable, dude. I mean, it felt like Dwayne Bowe and Jamarcus back in the day where you could just throw that slant route, you could set him up to throw the deep route, and they just couldn't guard him.
Yeah. Dude, Tommy Howard said Mattis O'Hammer, he's calling out his old teacher. The thing is, she knows. Every time I see her, I bring that up. So it's not even a thing. Let's see. Jordy, Dan Rogers, Jordy is smashed.
I mean, I'm not smashed.
Are you
but
smashed?
I'm having a good time, man. I'm celebrating the win. I mean, I feel good. I got good vibes.
Amen, bro. Amen. Tim Rouse, Ryan Peters, Vincent Colette. The offense continues to be this good. Joe Brady will be the OC next year. What's your take on that? I get asked that all the time. Brady?
Well, look, man, I think we talked a little bit about Miles Brennan, and again, like Burrow, he's a natural fit in the offense. He ran that at St. Stanislaus, and I love that now from the lineage of the quarterback spot that they're set up with the experience and physically Brennan's been able to watch for a while. So I think that from a fit standpoint, Miles Brennan is right on pace. And I kind of liked the way that ABC, their cameras were showing the box with Insminger and Brady, and not that you could you could get 100% read on their working dynamic, but I did take away that it looks like they communicate well with each other and that things are flowing up there. Then I mean they just kind of they have their system, they have their process, and they're getting it done. So look, man, Brady's influence is it's undeniable just to see how forward thinking, how organized they are.
Dude, do you know this? But last year, Jerry Sullivan was in the box with Steve Ensminger for like half the year. And then it got to the point where Steve was like, yeah, you can go down the field. You know what I mean? Like, so to your point about them showing the two of them together, that looks super productive. And Ed on Tuesday talked about how that worked. He was like, I was on the headset the whole game. They worked well together. Steve used a lot of Joe's plays. They worked well together. Like, that's really encouraging because they tried the same dynamic with OC, passing game coordinator, in the booth together last year, and it didn't work. Like, they clashed, and they ultimately sent Jerry down to the field. So the fact that they made this work, they've made it. It's 2 games, but I mean, how can you argue with the results so far?
Yeah, absolutely. And
you know what I mean?
I love the fact that, the play clock never really gets, even though it does sometimes get under 10, they look very like they're not scrambling trying to get the play off, clear plan. But that just the overall management of the play clock, the way that they're organized and detailed and getting to the right spots. It has been so refreshing to watch this offense execute, move, score. Moscona, the way that you painted is exactly right. It's a where were you moment on that 3rd and 17 tonight when Burrow steps up and LSU's coaching staff gives the quarterback and the offense the autonomy to run that play and score on the road. And this is the identity of who LSU is. This is the identity of LSU's offense. I think it only develops and expands from here, really. I don't think that they're hiding anything. Somebody was asking, were they hiding John Emery for the SEC? Hell no. They're not hiding anybody, man. They're not hiding any concept.
They know the guy.
Right,
exactly. In this game?
Right.
Oh, my God. Hey, so this guy Jacob asked, he actually said Clyde got way too many touches. Let me ask you a question. I don't know if do you have a stat sheet in front of you? Oh, damn. Don't look at it. How many carries did Clyde get tonight?
I didn't see it. If I had to guess, I'd say
just guess.
13.
Guess. 15, good guess. What was his yards per carry?
3.5. Wow.
5.8. Okay. Remember, he had the 24
and then
yard touchdown.
His most impressive run to me tonight was where he spun out of the tackle in the backfield and picked up the
spin, no doubt, bro. Jay, I'm telling you, I'm biased because I saw that kid run since his first snap at Catholic High. He has that. Nobody knows it because it was Fournette and Geis, and then he was just like the other guy. He's special. He's not Fournette. He's not Geis. But in the right system, bro, he averaged 5.8 yards a carry tonight. The spin you just talked about, like everybody knows exactly the play you're talking about because it was like, holy shit, he spun out of that, got to the edge, and then turned it on.
Not a lot of people get up from that hit that Burrow threw to him in the flat. That not a lot of people get up and are productive after that in that type of game. For him to bounce back, get up, and be productive after that hit, that shows you something about 22.
4 catches for 15. So he had 19 touches. So LSU had offensively, hang on, I'm trying to see the total number of plays. I think they were close to 70 plays tonight. I'm okay with him having 20 touches, 19 touches. And let's see. LSU threw the ball. They threw it 39 and they ran it 29. So that's 30, 59, 68. So 68 plays. He touched it 19 100%. Times. I'm good with that.
I think I just saw somebody told me that Leonard touched it a couple more times. See, that's the touches I would have liked to see John Emery get. Because that
I'm cool with that.
Surface tonight was too fast for 27. It was too fast for Leonard Fournette.
I agree. They wanted a veteran guy with the ball in his hands. They were leery of the game, and Ed may never acknowledge this, but they were publicly leery of a game-changing turnover.
You know what?
They were leery of put the ball in Emery's hands, and then he's trying to do too much, fights for extra yardage, gets popped, fumbles, scoop and score, and the whole game changes. That's what they were leery of, no doubt. Devin Kelly said, do you think the running game could be better? Bro, if they get that Ingram back there, absolutely better.
What do you do with Ingram?
He starts at left guard.
You would start
tomorrow. Hey, Jordy.
Hey, Drew.
A mutual friend of ours texted me during the first half and said, I won't reveal this person's name. I'll tell you privately, but not on this. And he said, so, Ed Ingram, not great. Like, that's a massive understatement. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Adrian McGee?
73. McGee. Adrian McGee, not great. Bro, Ed Ingram, having not played football for a calendar year, you put him at left guard, he's better than Adrian McGee tomorrow. So, yes, absolutely.
So just like you pointed out about Rashard Lawrence, where you have the luxury now with the schedule to sit him out nearly a month, get him back for the Florida game, get him back right for that game. Same goes for Ed Ingram, but the opposite tactic. Get him in shape, let him pound, let him hit, let him remember what it feels like to put on pads, go through everything in game day practice, let him know what it feels like to take on physical contact. I'd put him one-on-one with Rashard Lawrence would be their toughest guy, but whoever their toughest guy is now that's healthy, every single day in practice. Get him as far as caught up to speed as playing football, because I can tell you physically, and I've mentioned this to you on some of our practice reports, he has been out at every single practice. He's wearing street clothes. I mean, he's wearing a windsuit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he has kept himself in shape. He's kept himself around the program. He's got a great relationship with Insbinger and James Craig. I mean, from a mental standpoint, you got to imagine that he is, like, ready to break through and get on the field. Physically, it's just it. I mean, dude, anytime you take a year off from anything physically, to step back into it is going to have some type of shock value to it. So he can't get enough reps before the Southeastern Conference gauntlet begins.
Hey, so Jonathan Beacom asks, what was the Parkview Catholic final?
I turned it off at 48-0, bro. I know that, and I would just say this. I would just say this. Now is the time to get your shots in on this revenge tour that everybody's going on Parkview, because I get it.
Revenge tour? Parkview hasn't been Catholic in a decade.
Easy on the decade. Easy on the decade.
Yeah.
You've had a nice 4-year run here. It's been nice.
Half a decade.
But let me tell you, Stephon LaForce, former Carolina Panther, former Louisville Cardinal, and Christian Life Crusader, is bringing it. You know what? It's easy. It's easy to draw the comparison tonight. He is the Joe Brady to what Parkview has been. He's taking the triple option, the veer. He's flushing it down the toilet. He's running nothing but spread, and it's a personnel turnover right now. Catch us in a couple of years. Get your laughs and your kicks in right now. It's easy. I owe you a couple of dinners. I know that.
Here's your problem. We didn't bet on this year, but you owe me from like 2 years ago. But here's your problem. Is that Gabe Fertitta is at Catholic, and
the Baton Rouge. So let me tell you something. I'm calling high school football now for Eric Ritchie and those guys at Varsity Sports now.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that, dude. I was wondering what was up with you and why you weren't doing.
So Gordon's out, bro. John Gordon's out. We're out. And so I saw Marcus Randall, Neil Weiner last night. Rob Mushmack on the call with me, dude. And nice. You know what? We don't appreciate, because I've been watching Chad Mahaffey for the last 7 years at U High, and he's one of the best. He's now at Walker. How good the coaching is around the Baton Rouge High School. You mentioned Fertitta at Catholic High. He's one of the best in the state. He's a beast. Marcus Randall, Daryl Osbury at Southern Lab. I mean, just coaches all over the city. And you know what? You see that. I mean, like Derek Stingley Jr., for as good as he is physically, he's got to be coached at the high school level by Neil Weiner and Randy Linedecker for him to develop that type of skill and that type of technique to be able to step into the Southeastern Conference, a Texas non-conference game, starting for LSU as a freshman. That's a compliment to the high school coaching in the area, man.
Somebody said I drink every time you say
gotta
bro.
Be wasted, bro.
Do they not understand, bro, the reason, bro, that we do this, bro?
Did you see our guy Joe Juba hitting us with the dude, bro?
Dude, bro, from the upper deck.
Love that beautiful fucker.
Bro. That's like dick. Hey, Well, while we're on that, can I at least get a little bit of a for piecing together the dick thing?
Chill out, Dick.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
People love that, dude. When I heard that, I told Halvey, and I said, pick out every time that they said the word dick in the interview. And I was like, put it together.
56.
I was like, we're airing that. This dude was a.
No,
I have.
Brain
Did
did.
you count?
Brain did. That's what he said. You got 56 dicks in that quote, bro.
Dude, they pay us to do this. Are you kidding me? Shout out to Plant Machine Works, by the way. If they need machinists, they need millwrights, they need welders. If you have an interest in that, contact Plant Machine Works. If you know someone who might have an interest, contact Plant Machine Works. They're tagged in this post. They've been around since 1977. My guy Travis McGraw told me, he's like, this is boring. People don't care about this, but just tell them if they want to work, come talk to us. So holler at our friends at Plant Machine Works and like their page. They're tagged in this post. Hey, as a random aside, maybe I'll do this because we've been drinking a bit, but societally we're so big on like college education and blah blah blue, and the reality is, I think a lot of people, like, if you're not down with college, don't go to college. Go learn a trade, make 90 grand a year, and be thrilled doing it. You know what I mean?
I had a guy tell me in the trade the other day. I was doing a sales call. He said, "Dude, if you got out right now and you put your mind to it, and you got certified as a welder, a plumber, some type of skill, next year, if you told people where you were going to be, you showed up one time, did dependable work, and were honest, you can make $300,000 a year."
Do it. I mean, or you could go to school, get $100,000 in debt for a degree that you're not going to use.
Never be asked for in your life. Have you ever been asked for your degree, bro?
Yeah. But if you're going to be a doctor and you need that, cool. If you're going to be an engineer, cool. If you're going to be a lawyer, cool. Like, if you need CPA, cool. But like, if you don't know, there's way. Anyway, all right, that's a random aside. I didn't want people to watch this. We're down to 590. Dude, we peaked at 1,300 today. How big was this game? Do you realize we didn't peak at We did not peak at 1,300 during the Troy game. No, hell no, we didn't get that high. We've never gotten over 1,000 concurrent viewers in a show.
Charlie Pennison says Chris Blair's call on 3rd and 17 is up on SoundCloud. It's beautiful. I hope it is.
Awesome. Hey, Jason Bourgeois, what are you drinking? My Thomas Handy, bro, you kidding me? LSU gets a road win against a top 10 team. First time in the history of the program, a non-conference top 10 team. I break out my Thomas H. Handy, my Sazerac, my BTAC. Hey, do me a favor, y'all. If y'all are watching this right now, and 580 of you are, please hit the share button. If you haven't done it yet, please. There's two ways, we've explained this before. There's two ways that you can grow a post on Facebook. You either share it or you pay to boost a post. That's it. Facebook killed organic reach, and that's cool. It's their platform. It's their prerogative. They can do whatever they want. I ain't mad at them. But what we would really appreciate is if you hit the share button. If you like the show, hit the share button and like the Plant Machine Works page. That'd be huge. We'd appreciate it.
Shout out to Plant Machine Works. I'm on that JCB number 12 for LSU Showdown, the Big 12 tonight.
Yeah, dog.
Pinot Noir for you, scum. Salud to you.
Hey, brah.
Remember that you can check out everything that we're drinking at pourchoices.com. That's POUR, choices.com. We've all made them. And you can actually buy the vino that we're drinking all season here on Whiskey and Wine. It's called the season.
Hey, do I get some wine from Pour Choices?
Pourchoices.com. That's POUR.
Damn, bro, you should give me some?
I'm gonna go. You're part of the executive team. Speaking of the executive team, it's good to see. I saw Scott Woodward. I saw Verge Alsbury. I saw Robert Munson. I saw all of the executive committee of the LSU Athletic Administration making the trip to Austin. Scott, we met. What's that?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no.
I
Well,
said
I was going to
nice.
bring up the schedule because of Verge, and you mentioned that they legitimately now, as far as their health goes, you still got to go out there and compete, win the games, but for all intents and purposes, you can kind of chill for a month.
Yes. Dude, you've got, bruh, dude, bruh. You've got Northwestern State, Utah State, Vandy, open date. You got those 4 games, and then the game week of Florida. You have 5 weeks. If you need to rest guys, rest them. If if over the next 2 weeks you want to try to get some of your younger guys experience that you plan on redshirting, do it. Like this, I know we talked about it before the game, but now it's sort of surreal because it's post game and it's here. But it's like you've set yourself up now perfectly by winning this game. And dude, there were tense moments, okay, but you put up 45 points and 573 yards of offense. And now you can just go relax for about a month. Win your games, but you're not going to be tested again until Florida comes in here
12th.
October.
I think it's
What's the date of the Florida game? 12th. You go Northwestern State, Vanderbilt, open date, Utah State,
Yep.
and then Florida.
Ryan Hollis says,
let's roll,
for God's
bro.
sakes, play the Young Bucks. Absolutely. Get to know some of these young kids over the next month, man.
Hey, man.
Still have a chance to show them if they play for.
Let's see. I'm going to shout out people. Pete Giardino, Lee McCurley, Tony Vaughn,
Murphy,
AJ Holland, Jamie Hodges,
Bradley
Jody Hebert, Brian Robert,
Colin O'Connor,
Jeremy Logan, Taylor Johnson, Taylor Johnson, Colin O'Connor. Oh, sorry.
Chemistry. Let's get
okay,
chemistry.
Go.
Mark Bayard.
Go.
Larry Gibb
Brandon
Adams.
Hewitt. My bad. Bradford Hewitt. I called him Brandon. It's Bradford.
Bradley Abade.
Bradford.
Ryan
Jacob
Hollis.
Marceau.
Brian
Samuel
Rash.
Murphy.
Brandon
Mark
English.
Batanovich. Jason Bourgeois.
Natalie Blanchard Miller.
Billy
Patrick Walker
Brissett.
from Ancient Athletes. Calling out your boy. Poorchoices.life, not .com. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Gee.
Don't screw that up.
Ryan Peters.
Josh Neal. Grant Andrews said awesome show.
Bobby
Thanks, guys.
Bouye.
Thank you, Grant. Jacob Ray. Matt, when is your BF T-Bob coming on Whiskey and Wine? Fucking never, Jacob. 5 hours of T-Bob on a Saturday is
You get
enough.
him in one day for as much I get
And
in a week. How much do you want to kill him by hour 2?
You know what I had to hear? I had to hear about his hemorrhoids today, Jordy. I had to hear about how he's got hemorrhoids. I'm like, you're 28 years old, whatever you are. Hemorrhoids? Like, drink some Metamucil, drink some water. And what are you doing with hemorrhoids at 20? How old is he? 29, 30? What is 30? Hemorrhoids?
Yeah.
Hey, can I tell you something? I've drank Metamucil every morning of my life for the last 10 years. No, that's fine, but I'm gonna tell you this much. I may go down, Jay. At some point in my life, I'm gonna go down like we all go down, but it ain't gonna be the colon cancer. And when I turn 40, and they come and they're like, "Hey, you got to do your colonoscopy because you're 40," and they stick that probe up my butt, they're gonna go, "Well, goddamn, this is the cleanest colon I've ever seen in my life."
What, you been on this stuff for 25 years, buddy?
10 years. It's like I've been pressure washing my colon for a decade.
You're like Chernobyl up in that. You're like Chernobyl up in that bitch. Plastic suits.
I'm gonna be good, bro.
Welding hats.
Hey, I've never done this before, but I'm gonna do it right now, and then we're gonna sign off in a little bit.
Here in a minute, bro. Before we start just going way too deep.
All right. Was that a colon reference? Here's my Thomas H. Handy. I'm gonna drink straight. I'm gonna drink straight from the bottle, Jay. LSU, I want you to understand something here. Bottle of Thomas H. Handy Sazerac, part of the BTAC, the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. If you were to get this on the secondary market, this would run you a pretty penny. I'm going to drink this from the bottle.
You're drinking from the bottle, bro. Does he rock up? We might need to sign off. If he rocks up, bro, you might be in trouble.
Nah, she's probably in bed. No, she came in here a little while ago and was like, hey, I'm going to go get the bath. So she puts Drew to bed, and she goes takes a bath, and then whatever.
That's what Aaron
But
does.
I'll tell you this
don't
much.
Don't get too drunk. Don't say stupid shit. I'm going to go to bed. All right, babe. Good. Yeah, good.
Jordy.
We're all good. I'm probably not going to drink that much. It's all good. Good night.
No, not happening. So I've got, fuck yeah. So I have USC minus the 3 at home. So, dude, your boy had a good day, bro. I had, I think if you include the Packers, who I had, and Marshall, who won last night, Boise won, but I had Marshall minus 13.5, whatever. I think I'm like 7-3 in my last 10. Your boy's riding the heater.
For God's sakes. Quit hoarding all the cash.
Well, nobody asks me. They just assume I'm just a little asshole that loves Tom Herman. That's what people assume about me.
Learning how to put on makeup. Dude,
oh God! Hit the share, please.
I followed the Oddfather to the window on Maryland and Texas A&M. How about that FU touchdown Jimbo gave Vegas at the end of the game?
Bro, I had a massive play on A&M today, so that was a big winner for your boy. I also had Maryland. I had UConn today, which was a winner. I have USC. I had, what else did I have today that won? I can't remember. Did Tulane, what was the final of the Tulane game?
24-6, they end up getting beat. They lose, coach. Lose. Loser.
I had Tulane at 8-17.
That's
18
for you.
Happens.
No, I had them too.
You would.
Do you have Army?
Win some, lose some. Win some, lose. No, you know what? Phil Steele talked me out of that.
Really? Coach, Army should have won the game.
I was, I watched it. Oh, hey, Samuel Murphy. Jordy, what about Kansas?
Oh, man. You know what? Things are too good right now, but it just got to come.
Dude, wait, real quick. I got to stop you. Grant Males. I'm leaving the stadium. Waited an hour and a half for a $170 Uber. Don't care. Go Tigers. Is there any better feeling in the world? I'm serious. As a fan,
Never.
Is there any better feeling than going into somebody else's stadium? Hey, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. All right, then we'll be done. I'll be done if you want to keep going with it. We had season tickets for a brief time in the southeast corner. If you know where the tunnel is, where the opposing fans come out in Tiger Stadium, right above that tunnel, there's a little bleacher section. Next time you're in Tiger Stadium, look at it. Little bleacher section right there, like 4 or 5 rows right above the tunnel. And we were in the back row, so we could stand up, against the fence or whatever. A couple of years we had season tickets right there. And LSU was dog shit. It was 98 and 99 were the 2 seasons. Donardo's last 2 years.
Magic gone.
And right there, as you're facing the field, right there to your left are the opposing fans. And I can't tell you how many times I went into Tiger Stadium. I saw this little group of fucks from Kentucky, from Notre Dame,
Ole Miss,
from Georgia. All of them. All those fucks. Leaving Tiger Stadium celebrating. The rest of the venue silent, and that little group of fucks celebrating. And I realized, there's no better feeling than being on the road and winning. And starting in 2001, I got to experience that. because 01, 02, 03, in my time at LSU as a student, I missed 2 games total. Yeah, you know the 2 I missed? 2001 at Mississippi State, LSU won, I think 45-0. And because I went to Kentucky in 2001 and they won that game, by the way, Michael Clayton caught a touchdown with 9 seconds left.
The 2000 game was the OT game, right?
2000, yes.
2000, Mississippi State LSU was 2000, the OT. Brandon Tofield. Yeah.
Yes. But I'm talking 2001 in Starkville. I missed that one. And then because I went to Lexington in 2001, I did not go back in 2002, which was the Bluegrass Miracle. So I missed that game.
You missed.
Only two games in my college career I did not attend in person. 01 Mississippi State, 02 Kentucky Bluegrass Miracle. Oh yeah, I went to everything. Dude, it's funny to me, Jay, because people are like, "Oh, you hate LSU." Fuck you. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
wow,
you're batshit fucking crazy.
Hard and honest.
Fuck you.
This morning.
Oh, bro, people who think I hate LSU can kiss my ass. There's no more ardent LSU fan in the world than me. What? I'll tell you on Monday. But I upload it thereafter. So anyway, if you think I hate LSU, kiss my ass. That's my alma mater. I have a degree from there. I give money to the university. I love LSU. I want them to win everything in life. If LSU had badminton, I wish they'd curb stomp Florida in badminton. Anyway, damn it, what were we talking about, Jordy?
Joe Brady.
I started out.
Jason Truax.
No.
Matt's a mean drunk.
Not true. I'm a very happy one. I was talking about my time at LSU and how
you never missed a game. You never missed a game.
Missed 2 games. Where did this start?
We should probably
Where did this start? Where did this start?
I don't even know.
Where did this start? I don't know where it started. I was like, wait a minute. I was going on a path, and then I mentioned the 2 games that I missed, which was 01 State and 02 Kentucky, because I went to Kentucky in 01, and they won on they threw a touchdown pass with 9 seconds left when Rohan hit Michael Clayton. So I was like, I went there last year. I won't go again. The feeling of winning on the road. Thank you, Sam Moody. The feeling of winning on the road. Thank you. That was it. There is no better feeling than winning on the road. 2001 at Alabama when Rohan threw for 500 yards. I was sitting midfield, like 10 rows from the field behind the Alabama bench for that game.
So now let's dive into this hole. What's the best? That's the best road victory you've been to was the Alabama 01?
That was amazing. South Carolina 03 was amazing. Alabama 03 was amazing. Arizona in 2003 was awesome.
Coach, you know what?
2002 lost at Auburn. That was miserable. It was an early game, little light rain, and Auburn just curb stomped LSU. That was bad.
Was, Georgia 04 with Xavier Carter taking the run.
Oh, I was there, bro. I was there. I was there. I was in the upper deck. Awful.
Best road win. I was there in 06 when they beat Tennessee, which was fine. That was beautiful.
I was at Tennessee 01 when they lost post 9/11.
Michael Clayton, Josh Reed had a big night. I think that was Michael Clayton's first touchdown that night. That was the first game after 9/11.
He had a 67-yard touchdown from Michael Clayton. They should have won that game. The worst road loss, Miracle at Markham 2002 against Arkansas. They win the game. They go to the SEC championship game for the second consecutive year. Instead, Matt Jones to DeCorey Birmingham. I was first row in that like right at the goal line at War Memorial Stadium, right at the goal line in the corner of the end zone where in that end zone where DeCorey Birmingham caught the
Jason
pass.
Champagne, 41-37 in Tuscaloosa in 2007. I was there that night. That was a fantastic win when Hester went over the top at the end. That was
yeah. I was doing post game for 1150 WJBO at the time. Oscar Ingram, Jason Champagne, Jeremy Logan,
Daniel Clark,
Alan Case,
Justin Dupuy,
Brendan Austin,
Trevor
Jennifer
Bailey,
Allen,
Kyle Pierce,
Kyle Gallo, Scott Harrington,
Michael
Colin
Adams,
O'Connor,
Jake Lopez,
Sam Moody,
Randall
Ryan
Corns,
Micklin,
Damon
Andy Rando,
McGinney, Jeremy James,
Bill Straisner,
Darren Sixkill,
Josh Black,
Mark Bayard,
Scott Harrington,
Oscar
Chase
Ingram,
Richard,
Johnny Lombardi,
Jacob Marceau,
Matthew Clack,
Brendan Austin.
Hey,
I think we're
good
done.
night, bro. I love
Jake
you.
Lopez. See you, bro.
Plant
Y'all have an
machine
awesome night.
works.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you weren't offended by the cursing. If you were, well, fuck off.